guys, what is up? Thank you so much for once again stopping back by. Really do hope that you're going to enjoy today's video so that you can keep coming back for more. In today's video, we are going to be doing how to film a audition self-tape. If that is something you're interested in watching, do keep watching this video. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe, and let's get into the video. So the first thing that we're going to look at is equipment. So what equipment do you need? When it comes to equipment, you don't need the most expensive equipment. You don't need the most proper equipment in order to put out your work there, in order to basically look for a job and audition. All you basically need as a starter is a camera. So you need a good phone. By good phone, I mean you need a phone that can take a clear video. It doesn't have to be an Apple phone. It doesn't have to be the latest what phone. As long as it is a device that can take clear images. When it comes to sound, you don't need a microphone. You don't need like additional sound. It's all not a necessity. However, if obviously you can afford it, it's nice to have it, but really it doesn't change anything. It doesn't influence the outcome of the audition if you don't have those stuff. And I'll let you guys know in a short while as this video proceeds as to why you don't necessarily need additional devices, why you don't need a mic, why you don't need anything else. Like literally all you need is a working phone. It's a working mobile device. Another good investment when it comes to equipment is a tripod. Just a simple, I need to sneeze. Okay, it's gone. Just a simple tripod. This will help you so that you don't constantly have to ask someone, oh shoot, please film me. And I just personally think you audition best when you are alone. Give yourself to be alone in a room. Unless, of course, if you need someone to read for you, if it's a back and forth dialogue. But personally, I would advocate for the long one, the one that you can extend. Unless if you have like a table. I am currently using the short one. Unfortunately, I can't show you because I am filming with my phone. But I'll film it separately and I'll insert the video here. If you have a table like me, you can use the small tripod and then you just place it on top of a table. However, sometimes some auditions need you to be on your feet and stand up, so obviously this one wouldn't work. But if you are auditioning sitting down, this one works perfectly. So if you can get both, rather get both. If you can't, I would advocate that you get the long one because you can always extend it and put it, like shorten it to your desired length. Second thing to look at is projection. Now, when it comes to projection, you need to be aware of where you are. Let's take a moment and listen to my surroundings. So you guys can hear that it's not absolutely quiet, meaning that if I am doing a video right now and I'm auditioning, it wouldn't make sense for me to speak like you know, ever since I saw you, I knew that you wanted to come into my life, right? You can barely hear me. Now, no director is going to be interested in adding extra volume just to hear you. So, alternatively, this is what it would sound like. Ever since I met you, I knew that you wanted to come into my life. So what determines the volume and the pace is your surroundings. So because I don't have a mic, I need to be aware of where I am, the sounds. There's somebody showering, I live next to the road. Just the room space on its own has some sort of noise. So if I had a mic, it wouldn't really matter how much I project my voice because the mic would be able to pick up everything. But because I don't have one of the key ways to do this is to pay attention to where you are and then pace and project your voice accordingly. So yeah, man, honestly, this can be done without using any fancy equipment as long as you just sort of understand what you are doing and how it's supposed to sound. The third thing is lighting. There is probably nothing more important than we need to be able to see you. They need to be able to see you. What is the point of auditioning and then it's not even clear? You know, one of the best lighting methods is natural lighting. As I'm filming this video, I am using the sun child, I am using Mother Nature, I am using natural lighting. So how you do this is you want to sit in front of a window where there's direct sunlight coming to you, and then all you do is just place your device in front of the sunlight. So let me flip my screen so that I show you guys what I'm talking about. As you can see, my window is right behind my camera. So this is what you want to do. Another hack is that when you are filming, make sure that you close windows. As you can see, my windows are closed. Close the windows so that it becomes more audible. You get less distractions coming from the outside. Alternatively, you can invest on a ring light. As you can see, I honestly advocate for this. I honestly encourage that you do. If you are a young aspiring actress and you're trying to break things, you're trying to get into the field, you're trying to run with the big guns, I really do suggest that you get a ring light, because sometimes we don't have access to natural lighting. Sometimes you get an audition at 7 p.m. supposed to submit it before 8. So during that time, it's at night, there is no sunlight, there won't be any sunlights before 8. Sometimes you just need to do it now on the spot, so a ring light is really a good investment. A good phone, a ring light are one of those investments that I really advocate for if you are a person who's looking to get into a space that requires you to film a lot, like auditions, like influencing, like, because it's not all the time where you're gonna want to work and then you're gonna have access to daylight. However, daylight is the best and probably the cheapest way and probably reliable, but this is also a very good investment. So I would definitely advocate for this. I got mine at China Mall. It was 1,050 rand, but that was like a long time ago. I think this ring light is like a year old. So now you can find this for like 500 rand, for like, I've seen like when it's on sale it's like 350 online. Like, it's everywhere. It's no longer a thing of where can I get a ring light. Like when I got mine, it really was a thing of, it was new in South Africa. Like you'd only get it online and it was like 2k. Now it is so accessible everywhere in town. They have these lights, so it really is a good investment. What to wear. This is probably one of the most important points when it comes to auditioning. Now, I get a lot of questions on things like, do I dress up as the character or I don't? Excuse me. Personally, okay, before I get personal, right? It's not wrong to dress up like the character, It's not wrong to add that extra, I guess, effort. However, personally, this is what I do. I prefer to just wear plain black. I prefer to minimize any other distraction and just wear a black. So if I was auditioning, probably my hair would be tied back and I would be wearing a black top, and that's it. That's just a preference. However, I do know people who will dress up like the character, who will go all the way. But my thing is, when you audition, this is all they want. They only want like a shoulder, what is it called, a headshot of the video. So basically this is what an audition video would look like. So nobody really pays attention to what you're wearing. Nobody really pays attention to what's your makeup. I'm still gonna get to the makeup part, but nobody really pays attention to the costume if you are self-taping, if it's a taped audition, because that's just not what they're looking for. So it's not wrong to go the extra mile. However, I just feel like the character is clearer when there's just less distractions. You're just wearing a black top, specifically a black top, because black is the color of theater. So yeah, also avoid wearing like your branded t-shirts when you're auditioning. Also avoid wearing your colored t-shirts when you're auditioning. Plain black is what works best. You can never go wrong. So the answer is, it's not wrong, but personally I prefer just wearing a plain black top, because the costume really doesn't add anything. Yes, it does show that you've made efforts and probably researched, but it really doesn't add anything. All they want to see is you act. Makeup. It is better not to wear any makeup, simply for the fact that when the casting directors are casting, they really need to see the raw you and what they can do with your face. So imagine now I was auditioning for, practical example, for some role that needed a dark skinned girl, right? Like a super dark skinned girl, beautiful melanin, super dark. And then because I want the role and I have costume and makeup, I put dark foundation. I really put dark foundation, right? And then so it does sort of look like I'm dark. When I get on set, let's say I get the role, when I get on set, a light-skinned person shows up. Then it's like, so give people the real you. give the casting directors exactly what it is so that they know what they're working with, rather just not create that we thought it was this but it's not this, you know. Rather let them see your eyes, let them see what your natural features look like, so that they know if you're what they want from the get-go or not, so that they know that how, if you're not what they want, but let's say you're not what they want physically, you don't fit the character, but you nail the audition so well, give them time to prepare. Uguti, how are we going to make this person look like this? Whereas if you have additional stuff on your face, they're not going to be able to see Uguti what we are working with. So again, personally, makeup is not necessarily wrong, but personally I prefer not to wear makeup, even if they tell me in the description that this is a glamorous character that wears makeup, yada yada. Personally, when I'm doing auditions like that, I don't wear makeup, I just deliver the character. So when an audition is being looked at, they can sort of imagine it's, oh, this girl with makeup would look like this, oh, this person with makeup would look like this, you know. So it's not an impossible image to create, but personally I just prefer giving them the bare me, but delivering the girl who has pretty makeup or whatever the case is. Eyeline. Where should your eyeline be? where should you look at when you are auditioning? Now, when you are auditioning, acting is received through the eyes. For me to believe you, I need to see your eyes. So you can give me the most beautiful performance, but if I can't connect with your eyes, then it is pointless. Would you be interested in this video if the whole time I was talking like this? You probably would have clicked out right now, because it's boring. You can't connect, you can't see my soul. If I'm just looking, I may be delivering the content, I may be delivering the monologue well, but I'm performing, who am I performing for when I'm facing that way? So it's the same thing with the monologue. You want to connect with the director rather with the person watching through the screen. You know, the medium of communication here is the screen. So you need to make love to the lens, man. You need to, the camera needs to love you. You get what I'm saying? So where should you look at? It is hard. I personally find it hard to look at directly at the camera. So right now I'm looking at directly you. So how you do this is you look here. You look at your own here. I don't know what this is called, but you look at here, and then you deliver the monologue. Alternatively, what I do is I look at something that is behind my camera. So if I was delivering my monologue, I would look, okay, let me find my spot. I would look here. That's what I would look at. I'm not looking at the screen. I'm looking at something that is behind the screen, but you can still connect because you can see my eyes. Do you get me? You can cheat this by sometimes do find a spot on the screen. So what I'll do is, you see the edge of this, okay, it's not working. You see the edge of that flower, like literally where my finger is circling? That's the spot I'd be looking at, but on it, obviously looking at it from my screen. So it's not that I'll turn and look at it, but from my screen, that would be my focus point. So you have to pick a focus point that allows the person watching to connect with your eyes. So the focus point can't be there, it can't be here, it can't be too far up. It has to be direct, on a direct level, whether it's on the screen, whether it's behind the screen, but it has to be on a direct level. Another thing, remember, acting is about naturalizing. It's about being natural. Generally, when you talk to a person, you're not going to finish the entire speech or convo looking at them. So it's the same thing with acting. When you are delivering, do find moments where you're going to cheat, look away, and then come back to your spot. Because naturally, that's what we are as humans. That's what we do as humans. You don't talk to a person and you're just staring at them. So even when you are delivering, there are going to be moments in a monologue that allow you to look away, that allow you to fetch your thoughts from somewhere, but always come back and give me your eyeline. Ne? Headshots and introduction when you are auditioning. So there are auditions that will tell you that they want your headshots. So they're gonna wanna see your side profile, they're gonna wanna see the other side profile, and they're gonna wanna see your front profile. They will specify, they will tell you if they want that, and if they tell you that they want headshots, then you have to do them. If they don't tell you, then you don't have to do them. Honestly, what it does is that it prolongs the video, because what happens is the minute we click on your video, we want to know who you are, and we want to see the monologue, we want to see the performance. So if they don't say that they want headshots, rather not do it. That is the personal advice that I'd give, because you're wasting time. Nobody has time. There's like had thousands of auditions. Nobody has time to say, oh, usaqedile my headshots and I look at fast forward the video. Unfortunately, give them what they're looking for. If they specify that they want headshots, give them. If they don't specify, don't give them. Some will tell you that they don't want them. So just always read your biography. When it comes to introduction is very important, because how do we know who you are if you don't tell us? So the whole, hi, my name is asiphest.ntuli, I am 23 years old, I'm going to be auditioning for the character of Susan, and then you start. Sometimes they do want you to say the agent that you come from. They will specify, they will tell us your name, your surname, your age, and the agent that you come from. If you don't have an agent, then don't say an agent. Just say that I don't have an agent. So you're gonna say, my name is Asipe, 23 years old, I'm gonna be auditioning for the character Susan, I don't have an agent. Then you're gonna start the monologue. But don't explain anything further. Give them exactly what they asked for. If they don't ask for an agent, don't give the agent. Give them exactly what they want. Another thing that you need to pay attention to is the minutes of the monologue. If they say they want a 2 minutes monologue, you can go over by nothing more than 5 seconds. So it can be over with just 5 seconds, or it can be less with just 5 seconds. But you don't want to give them something that is a minute longer than what they want, something that is a minute shorter with what they want, because chances are they're not even going to look at it. You have to meet the basic requirements for people to even look at your work, for people to even take you seriously. Background and noise. What you want to do when it comes to background is that you want to keep your background as simple as possible. If I was auditioning, I would have removed everything in the background. There would be no flowers, there would be no ring lights, there would be no table. It would just be me and that wall. And that's what you want to do. You don't want to create something that they'll end up losing focus and looking at that. My hair would be tied back. You don't want to have them looking at, oh no, that was you try and minimize any distraction. So background is very important. You can't be having a busy background. You can't be having people moving in the background. The best background, I would say, is just a plain wall. Doesn't matter what the color of the wall is, just a plain. Try and make the wall clean and with no writings and stuff, because imagine now I'm looking at an audition and I'm trying to figure out what's written behind, because the eye is easily distracted. So you want to make sure that you are the main focus. Hence why we go back to don't wear branded t-shirts, because you don't want umuntu agcine sefunda your t-shirt instead of looking at you. So you try and capture the person who's watching as much as you can. So the best advice when it comes to background is use a plain wall. It doesn't matter where. The best auditions are done at a closed space. I can never comprehend with people who audition outside. Like outside, guys, the air on its own makes a noise. There's cars, there's just so much noise that's going on outside. So yeah, never audition outside. Like just don't. Rather audition at a closed room. Noise, that's another thing. You want to make sure that when you are doing an audition tape, you have a minimum of noise level, because then if we distracted and we can't hear you, nobody's really going to watch. They'll just move on to the next. Gestures, you know what I'm saying? Some of us talk like this child, right? So it is natural that some of us talk with our hands. I am one of those people. When you are auditioning, you want to keep this at a minimal level, because it is once again distracting. So if you are auditioning, yes, you can use your hands, but it can't be a thing of every minute you are, it's distracting. It's so try and internalize whatever feeling that you feel like you want to express with your hands. Try and internalize that. Let me see you doing this with your feelings, with your emotion. Chances are when we are auditioning for on self-tape auditions, we are auditioning for screen. Yes, it's not always the case, but chances are, if you are doing a self-tape, that is something that's going to be filmed. So generally in film, the medium it's more internal acting more than external acting. It's more show me how you feel instead of Let me see how you feel from the inside instead of physically showing me how you feel. So chances are, when you are auditioning and you are doing a self-tape, they don't want a lot of movement. I've done an audition before where I auditioned. I didn't have a lot of hand movements, but I was doing a lot with my face. I was doing a lot of with my face. And I guess they liked me because my feedback was tone down. And I toned down. I sent the second clip and they're like, tone it down again. So literally I ended up just being like this, you know. So for film and for TV, it's more internal, and I got the role. So sometimes it's not even what you do with your hands, but even your face. Try and internalize more than anything. Try and let it come from somewhere. Don't technicalize it. Don't act ngoba uyazi ukuthi umuntu odiniwe uzo. You know, don't act because you know the technique of acting. Act, be present in the moment. You know, people have this tendency of when they're angry, they're gonna do. You know, we know that looks good. We know that it's an expression of anger. So don't technicalize some of the things. You know, just allow yourself to be present at the moment. Allow yourself to find new ways of expression and expressing things without using your hands. I've watched a performance before, beautiful performance by this other guy. He sat down on a chair and he performed a one-piece monologue. By the end of that show, we were all in tears. There's nothing else that he did. Half the time he wasn't using his hands. He was just sitting down and doing the show. But it was internalized. You could feel every single word. You could feel every single emotion. You could feel every single expression. You were there with him. You were present with him. You were feeling with him. And that's what an audition is all about. You need to take me on a journey with you. That is what performance is all about. So I think when it comes to self-taping and film and acting for TV, basically that's what they're looking for. A person who can internalize, not necessarily with their hands and gestures. We've come to the end of this video. If you found this video helpful and you liked this video, please give me a massive thick thumbs up. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe. Also do check out my Instagram page just so that you know what I'm up to if I'm not here on YouTube. But for now, you definitely are a star. I'll see you next time. Bye.